Welcome back to another episode of Polymer E-Club, Ask the Cook. We're here to talk about polymers and polymer application. We help you answer the question, what do you need to know when you work with polymers? We call that working knowledge. I'm reminded of a story from when I was a boy, really. My parents got a new car, a 1973 Ford Gran Torino station wagon. My mother was sitting in the car waiting for my brother to come out of school, and I'd already made it out. I was in the car. She was having a conversation with our school's principal. She was in the PTA back in those days. They were talking through the open window of the car, and it started to rain, and the principal popped open his umbrella, which protected him from the rain as well as my mom, which was great, until he walked away when the conversation was over, and Mom started to get wet, so she reached down and grabbed the crank handle and began to crank. And the handle came off in her hand. And she uttered those words that are pretty fateful for every polymer designer: cheap plastic. And it occurred to me, why would Ford Motor Company use a material that didn't work? What is it that makes something cheap? Well, after a great deal of training and experience, I can answer some of those questions. Polymers aren't cheap. The cheapest are still pricier than steel, especially when you consider their weight. Polymers require special skills to design parts for them. That's because they have a relatively low stiffness compared to steel, which everyone's used to. They have variable toughness, they have limited temperature tolerance, they have vulnerability to the elements, and they have special manufacturing requirements. They can be very cost effective because of their low weight, the low energy to manufacture, the near net shape production capability, and their virtually limitless array of colors and properties. But you don't know that if you don't know polymers. Turns out the window crank handle shrank in UV and ended up too small to stay in the ring of the window crank. A stabilizer, internal lubricant, and better manufacturing practices would have and eventually did make this crank handle a success. But now most people prefer power windows. I'll show you a picture of that famous handle, which I've kept around. Knowing how to design for a polymer's properties, that's working knowledge. That's what we'll explore here together on Polymer E-Club, Ask the Cook. Remember to like and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Also, you can follow a link in the description to get more information about Polymer E-Club and learn how to get involved. It's Todd Cook with Polymer E-Club, Ask the Cook. Thanks again for watching.